Good day, Tamers, and the back of Layla's head. Just a quick, I suppose, rebuttal of what's been going on currently in the whole meta, that is the Digimon card game. As you can see, the 2023 regionals for the April and March list are coming to an end now. I think there might be one more this weekend, possibly in OCG or Latin America. And Ultimate Cups are now, I think, for the most part, finished. And then starting up again, I think, in July and August. We've had a very weird meta with the new Ultimate Cup rules coming in with the monocolor-esque deck building, and the people obviously trying to build for both because everyone has hours of time to make new decks when they need to on the fly. You can see that some people have been putting just the bare minimum into their deck building when it goes from Ultimate to Regional, which is fine. Not here to have a go, anyone. Time is money, and someone to have time or money. But I'm really interested in what's happened here. We've had, I think, 4 big events that have been released by Bandai. I think there's 4 more that's going to come out this week because I think we had 2 American events, we had an Oceanic event, and we had the European regionals. So it's really interesting what's going to happen over this week, and I'll do another play-by-play video for next week of hey, look, these decks are really good. Who would have thought that the good decks are good? So for those who haven't seen, this was the regional for April 15th at Oceania. So this is the Australian, New Zealand, over there event. They had a very cool looking Digimon deck, which is a really fun deck, and it obviously just goes to show how good it is. Now, I will say, as someone who played in the last event in Europe, I played Beelzemon because I like the deck. I think it's really fun. It did what it's meant to do. It did a lot of milling. It did a lot of memory gain, annoying your opponents. But you aren't doing anything against this deck because this deck just builds one tower and goes, no, stop it. And you have to nod and go, okay then, because you can't destroy them. Because they go, I'm going to remove 2 sources. I still have 6 sources. Keep trying to destroy me. Oh, you can't? Okay, all right. I'm just going to crash into you because I have this available. Good old Greymon from BT8. The deck obviously being a multicolor in terms of black and red. Obviously, this is the regionals, not the Ultimate Cup version. But again, the deck is very strong. It's going to get even stronger in the next set with the Chaos X. Although I do see it just essentially not doing much, if anything at all, during the next set because, yeah, you're not going to be able to do much. Obviously, there's a chance of when things try and destroy you, you can just go no thank you, and you can start popping security, and then you can probably crash into something and not die again, and then use a Meltranimon's effect to pop more security. So there's a few things you can do to make the deck fake retaliation, I guess, or stripping your opponent's security. It's pretty cool. It's very interesting. I like it. Second place for that regional, though, was a purple Minerva build with 1 analog youth. Well, at this point, I think we all agree that it's essentially a purple card by definition. Nothing too wacky. As you can obviously see, people are very interested in the werewolf mode back because they like that rush and the extra memory. We've all probably seen this one here. I think someone played something very similar to this in, was it the Ultimate Cup regional? I think it was top 8, so I don't think we got to see his list because I think they do top 4 now. But yeah, obviously they didn't play Defex. Defex was banned. They didn't play Chimera, but they played a very weird blue build. And it did really well because who'd have thought having lots of blue cards just lets you go blue card things. Yeah, I think this is an underrated deck still. Defex is essentially the card that makes this deck work the best. If your opponent tries to go wild, you just punish them with Defex. And then if you really want to, you go Jesmon X, put Magnet underneath it, and essentially just go, no, looks to be you. Because if you try and get rid of me, I'm just going to put this card on top of the deck, top of security, so you beat stick. And then the 4th deck from the same event was another Merva build, although this time playing Nidhogg, the purple Nidhogg. But yeah, Defex, I think he was probably one of those cards. It's it's probably for the mirror match, where it's you go wide, I'll drop this, and you don't get to do much. And then when we got to do the Ultimate Cup organised play events a couple of weeks back now on the 9th of April. If you want to go watch that, I recommend it. Your boy, Agito over here, was one of the casters for the day with Fenton 2G. We recommend it. Go and check that out. It was a really good day. And if you actually watch round 5, you'll actually see the best representation of how this deck was actually piloted by the champion. And yeah, they played both the very aggressive in game 1 and then played the very controlling in game 2. And they absolutely smashed it. It was fantastic to watch. I like this build. It's very similar to what I play. I don't think I ever thought about playing this, though. I think I was trying to play one of the other Palmons. I think it's one like one to level 4. But no, I do really like this deck. I always played the 1. I normally go like 4, 1, and 3 because I like the ratios because I'm crazy. Although I do like to play a Chaos because I like to just be able to get rid of more things on the field. I'm such a mean person. Obviously, this was the color one, so having the Nidhogg here is probably a good idea. And then as of next set, if they keep the color thing again, we'll have access to quartz. Deck number 2 was also this. It's one of the few events I've seen from Bandai where whoever came second actually comes second because they have like a very weird scaling when it comes to points. Where sometimes if you come second, you can come 8th. It's very weird. Decent deck choice. Didn't really play for the mirror. There was no Nidhogg here, and they played the Argamon. I don't think the deck played the Argamon, did it? No. I love Argamon. I think the idea of being able to swing with this and then throw out another level, like Palmon or Hamu, so you can suspend it later, or even one of these, just get the extra draw. Really good idea, but can't search for it, and if you put it to the bottom of the deck, you ain't finding it again. Third place was Blue Flare. Blue Flare is actually a surprisingly good deck. It's very good at controlling and slowing down your opponents. I think you want to see, obviously, in a match like this. Kind of has issues with Bloom Lord because Bloom Lord can go so wide that it can't really do much about it. But obviously, you do get chances to bounce the hand. This is playing the playing the pulses. I don't know what the plan was. I don't know what the plan was. I don't know. But you can swing for like 4 in one turn, so maybe that was their plan. And this was Jiaogensu, the scariest dude we know, one of the probably greatest players in the UK, if not Europe, playing a very cool Black War Greymon Dobrik Ragnar deck. So the issue is, I don't think you can search the Ragnar. I think you have to like get it from Memory Boost and hope for the best. But they got 4th in Sunday's event with the same deck. They just changed a few things around to make it obviously more acceptable for the regional rule sets. But they like this deck, and to be fair, it's a fun deck. And yeah, you just smash through games like it's no one's business. You take 2 security, you go up into Ragnar with like 12 sources, 16 sources, whatever you've got currently on the field, and you just go, yeah, blitz. Because I do your Nature Evolved, removed all your trash all your security, sorry, and then I'm blitzing, but while I'm blitzing, I'm also murdering all of your things on the board, and then crash it into security, which is now open, and your opponent just goes, oh, that was quick. It's like, yeah, it's pretty quick. That's what happened over in Europe. Again, if you want to go watch it, look over at Twitch. That's the lovely OPE stuff. They are fantastic. I'll leave a link in the description because it's See Me a Suit. The Regionals Latin America, which is on the 9th, also played a cool rendition of Black War Gremlin. I think it's one of the very few Black War Gremlin decks that's actually won something during this tournament season. I don't know if anything did win over the weekend in America or in Oceania. I haven't seen any of those reports come in myself. But obviously, this is very standard what we say. This is a bit different. This is probably the only thing I say is different because normally you see like 4-4-4. That's a little different. Although, yeah, it's a very that's a very weird different build. 4 is that's normal. Normally you see reduced cost one. Yeah, it's a bit different. I don't know, not sure why they want the blocker here or yeah, that's different. I'm not too sure. They put 4 of these as well. Okay. No, no level 7s either. But they won. Latin America's Latin America. We will agree on that. Yeah, blue hybrid, good stuff. Leomon package. Got 2nd place because stun is a fair mechanic. Oh, look, it happened again. Stun is a fair mechanic. And then, oh, look, it happened again. No, this is Melga. Melga is just, it's a really weird deck because it shouldn't really be as good as it is, but because you can swing so many times in one turn, it's just ridiculously good. I don't personally like it. You can ask Layla, she'll tell you. I don't personally like this deck. This is her pet deck, and then I have to like practice things. It's like, hey, I got this one deck that I can run. Do I practice? It's like, not really, but it's the only deck you can run, so yes, I will. North America, April 8th. So we're going back 2 weeks again. I went against this deck the other day. Not this version. I don't think Mervo was in there. But yeah, like this just runs you down like you owe them money. It's stupid because if any of these are in security and they've got any of these in hand that they need to throw out, you ain't doing anything about it. Having my opponent rush me down 4 times on one turn because they had free memory and because they had Taiki and they can just gain all their memory back, put things under a different Taiki, and then send out all the things again, and then put them under a different Taiki, and then send out all the things again because they died, is not a good mechanic. It's very imbalanced to say the least because you're only a 6k. There's a good chance you're going to die. Then you save 2, so you save your rush target, you save one of these, and you just hope that you got these one in hand. It's not a fun time. Oh, look, same deck again. Same excuse, I suppose. Although Defex, I guess, because they were thinking about the mirror match, maybe go wide, but from what I can tell, people only normally put one thing out, rush with it, you hope it dies, save, throw another one out, rush with it, save, do the thing over and over again. Obviously, having multiple Tamers out is the only other thing Defex kind of cares about, and it's just tapping his fingers in waiting for the extra Tamer to come down to be a free cost. This, on the other hand, I like to see this third place. So I'm not really sure how this got third place in the nicest possible way, because this outspeeds this, and I don't know what the hell they're playing. So, yeah, makes sense. Yeah. I prefer Salmon. I like having extra memory on trashing because that way it keeps it your turn. I know a lot of people do think this is better, which is perfectly fine. It's probably better than this, to be fair, because you want to trash this instead of Trist and have this as your evolution source, but that changes anyway next set, or like this weekend. Bell at 2, yeah, makes sense. I play him at 3. I play him at 4 though, because I do like seeing a lot. I don't understand why people like these at this number, because if you can't get to these, you go slow. You go very slow. Even with 4 barrages, there's been times where I milled all 3, and I still didn't see a level 5. You're stuck at level 4. It's like, do I just swing him with it and hope for the best, or do I just keep milling and hoping I find one of these and can activate this and bring it back? The deck is very consistent, but yeah, Corner of the Dark seems to be a very weird one for me. I suppose you just use it on your Ipmon to obviously pop it early and try and get some more cards out. They are playing the Pagamon package as opposed to playing the new one, which is when you swing with a Wizard or a Demon Lord Crash 2. But hey, they got third place, so they also know what they're doing. And then, oh, look, it's another Cross Hearts deck. Yeah, when you see the top 3 of this deck, you can obviously tell that something has got to give. Oh, Raid and Trade, April 1st, European event. Yeah, I always find it funny when they run a Defex in this deck, because it's like, if you can't win and you have to use Defex as your target, like, you weren't meant to win, because this is just a crutch. You know it was. But the deck, the analog youth? I don't think I've seen analog youth. I've seen the one of these before. This seems a 3, and obviously 2. This does seem fairly standard, to be fair. I'm not too sure really going on in the back of this person's head. Is it are they worried they're going to crash into an option card? Maybe like, I don't know what they'd be worried about, to be fair, because I think if you remove this from play with, like, say, Chaos Degradation, like, he doesn't trigger. Just another X. Yeah, second place. There we go. There's the X antibody everyone loves. Oh, deck looks very standard. Yeah. Hades 4 seems to be this weird one where people like keep booking loads in. It's like, it's not that good. Put that to 4. Have that at 2. It ain't going to hurt anyone. Or even better, take it out. Put the other X antibody in there. Put this, and then it's up to you. You can go Blitz, X antibody, the other X antibody, or you can go X antibody and then 2 of the other X antibodies, because trashing a card and then swinging is pretty cool. Having this at 3 is very good. Obviously, you can't search for these. That's the only other problem. But you do get to search for them with Agumon at 3. Man, these ratios are weird. Third place, the most expensive deck currently, because you're paying 50 plus for these. But looks fairly common from what I've seen. Yeah, they're one red plugin. You see that occasionally. And these are always, I see one of the 2 of these in decks. Obviously, as of next set, you do get access to the other ultimates, other mega. So it's really cool that we actually get a chance to have 6 megas in this deck now. Or do people go 3 and 3? I'm not too sure. They're pretty cool. And then, yellow, purple, good stuff. Security control at its finest. They're the true. Holy Wave. Reinforced memory boost. Lonky a disco. I think this is if you're at free security. It does like both the like get rid of things effect as well as the. I wish we could look at it. One of your opponent's Digimon. Yeah, you have 3 or more security cards. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 12,000 DP for the turn. If you have 3 or less security cards, place one of your opponent's Digimon face down over the security stack. Yeah, so if you're at 3, which is where you want to be with this card, you get to essentially destroy something, and then also like pop something on top of the security. Chaos Regulation, fantastic. The fact that it's got 4th though is very, very interesting. And I'm trying to figure out like what the deck actually does in terms of like trying to kill. 4 Death X's is very weird because like when are you actually going to get that out? If your opponent's playing like a slow game, and obviously you're putting all their stuff back on their security, and like, when are you ever getting Death X out? So the idea is obviously someone plays like an option card or whatever that, or like a security disappears and you just gain memory, it's your turn again. I hate security, especially when I'm trying to figure out what it does. You're going to rush with, well, you're not going to rush, you're going to slowly kill me with Salamons, probably. And then if you die, if you've got less than 4, is it? You gain a, was it 3? 3, you gain a security back. And then obviously this just puts out loads of security. And this just slows you down for a turn. And then, because it just there's a target, right? And then, suki. Even a target? Target. Go to that. Do that. It just confuses me. Then we have the last stuff here from 15th of April. It's the originals from Latin America. Wargreymon X. Grumon X, everyone's favourite doggo. Watch me punch into your security 5 times, giggle at your face, and then kill you with Omnimon. Grandis, this is here essentially for Black Wargreymon X because it's got no other reason to be here. Because they don't care. They don't care about your sins. And then Crosshearts. We got an X7 in this deck. Okay, that's different. And an Sieg. I'm glad that Zeeg's starting to make an appearance because it makes sense in this deck. Obviously, this asks for Omnimon and Omnimon shout as well as Zeeg. Is Omnimon shout in here? There is 2. Yes, that makes sense. And then security control with Digi Emperor, Holy Wave. You just look at some of these decks, it's like you people just have like no like wanting to play the game. It's just like, yeah, but don't talk to me about security control. I hate security control. It's just a nonsense deck where like Bandai needs to look at some of these things. They're like, you can't play these cards in this deck with this because it's just, you're not playing the card game. You're just literally stalling out for like 50 minutes and you're boring everyone. Oh, that's my opinion of regionals. Luckily, in the next set, we just get to laugh at these people when you're playing BLT1 X and just strip all their security and just laugh at them while they cry because you've just destroyed all their ways of playing the game because they weren't playing the game. They were stalling for time because they literally can't do anything else. So I'm more surprised when you see one of these people get to like 4th places because like you were stalling the whole game. How did you get 4th? How did you win any games with this deck? Quartz will also just laugh at these people because the second they come out, they go, Quartz, all right, you don't get to do anything for the rest of the game. Have fun. And Black Wargreymon X, as you can see from some of these results already, not this one specifically, but in the other ones, this one. I mean, technically this one. There you go. Rah, 4th place. Then you in here, Junior. No, no, no. That's right. There you go. 1st place. And oh, you're in 2nd place. Yeah, so these essentially don't really care too much what these do. You got so much DP as well when you fight these things. It's like, oh yeah, it's like 15,000 minus, and you're like, okay, whatever, don't care. Or like effects of like option cards that affect me. Or like, oh yeah, try and bounce me, doesn't work. No, but no, I'm happy for the regionals happening. No, I've been very happy the fact we got to see lots of different decks. There's some decks I don't like out there, specifically decks that just are built to just essentially abuse the mechanic of rush forever, or decks that essentially play, I don't play in this game, I'm just going to try and wait for you to move yourself out while trying to play the card game, and I'm going to sit here and just not do anything. Because having a back and forwards is part of the card game, and you're not doing that. So, yeah. Interesting, right? I do think when it comes to things like that, Banner has to keep an eye on it and be like, look, this is maybe just an American European thing. Like, screen control, very bad for the game. If I try and do an action and I can't play the game, that's not interaction. That's my opponent just laughing at me for no reason. Because I tried to play a sophisticated card game, they just tried to storm me out for like 50 minutes because they wanted to win. My opinion has always been the same things for screen control. Another very interesting, very fun deck, although it does sometimes feel just like cowabunga it is. You're just smashing your head into a table because your opponent's got 3 blockers that all have retaliation. If you try and do something, it's just nah, not happening. Again, with BLZ though, when you just digivolve for digivolving and then digivolving and you're getting all that sweet, sweet memory, and you're at +1 security, and you've just murdered like half their board, and then you get to trash X amount of security, probably 2, because 9 times out of 10 you're normally at 20 when you do this, and then if they can't stop you, you punch for 2 security at like 21k, and they just look at you and go like, I can't stop you. It's like, good. And then you just digivolve up into beautiful, beautiful blast mode. Now needs an alt art because it's not that beautiful. You could do with an alt art. And you just essentially go for game, and they just look at you and they wonder why you're playing this. And it's like, because I want to win. Because I want to be degenerate just like the rest of you. I want to go turn 3, and know I'm going to win that game. It's that simple. I milled 20 cards. I now have 2 ways of killing you, and you can either let me kill you, or you can not let me kill you. That's down to you. Personally speaking, I'm going to murder you. That's all you get to do. Now, if you can block me, that's good. But remember, I'm a 21k beat sticker, and that you're probably just going to fall over anyway. And then, I've got all these effects that are going to go off first. So it kills all your little guys, little dudes. And you don't like that. I understand. I understand that you don't like that. And I'm just going to get rid of your security. Because I can. Because I'm behind my next now. And swing. Crash into you if you want me to. I'm going to take your security. I'm going to go into a 4 cost level 7. Yeah. Then gain 3 memory back. So it only cost me 1. And then I'm going to suspend. And then I'm going to go pew, 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 for 2 more hits. So I'm either going to take out all your security and get rid of you, or I'm going to take out all your board, and you have a turn to recover. Because I'm probably going to be able to do something else that turn. Maybe something similar to maybe throwing down a Bielsta. So if you try and swing in with something next turn, I'll just play a Ipmon. If we ever get an Ipmon with blocker, boy, that's just not going to be fun for anyone. Regionals. Looking forward to BT12 onwards for myself personally. I like Quartz. I like the idea of the Hunter deck, where if Quartz is active, you can still get to attack with a Stratodramon, I think it is. The level 5 superior mode. Level 5. That lets you attack if you're suspended, which is very good. Quartz, I like the idea as more like, as I've always said, battle control is a very weird thing for green, because that's what it should be. But I think we had a lot of issues where it's actually never been that effective. And then Beelzebub is obviously just a very aggressive purple thing, which obviously, as we've seen in the last couple of metas, actually purple is very good at that anyway. But Beelzebub just does it with a bit more finesse. And then Black or Greymon and its variants are still very good in the meta because they're still be very aggressive while also being very good mid range. Not necessarily control, but I think that's a very weird thing. Like Screw control is specifically I'm controlling the game of you're not playing, whereas Black or Greymon X is like, okay, I'm stuck in a situation where I can still whittle you down, but I'm not really going to be doing much after the first turn passes over. So in terms of big bodiness. But yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's any other decks that are super competitive right now. I think once you get to BT13, Shine Greymon might turn a bit more because a lot of people like Shine Greymon, so I expect to see him. Fairly good deck when it comes to just pumping out levels. Anything else? Imperial is a fantastic deck if it just was a better deck overall. Unfortunately, it's not. That's the only thing for Imperial. It's got all the key components that make it a really cool DNA deck. But it just doesn't execute it enough to be effective enough. Then, that's gone out. Galatmon. I wish Galatmon was better. I'd play Galatmon if it was. The raid mechanic is really good for Galatmon. It makes sense because you want to go for security and you actually know I'm going to punch the biggest thing on the field. That thing now falls over because you use a mechanic rather than a attacking ability. You know what I mean? And then you look at your thing if there's any Digimon on the field. Suspend. And then if you can't delete something by the effect, I think you get to unsuspend and swing again. And then if there's nothing on the field at the end of attack once per turn, you get to gain memory. Is it free memory? And obviously, the idea for that is you go into X antibody if there's nothing on the field. When you swing out, you suspend again, and then you get to go into Crimson mode, swing. There's 10 cards in their trash. Essentially, get rid of 2 more security, and then swing for game. Very similar to how the new Beelzy one is, except you are slower. That's the only problem. It has to be very specific mechanics, whereas the other one's like, yeah, just get 20 cards in the trash. It's not hard. It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. I mean, to be fair, if you really wanted to do it, you could probably put in like a very weird Hitmon, Growlmon, War Growl, Beelzy line things. You couldn't search for anything. It'd be very weird. You mill so much stuff. It'd be ridiculous. You wait for that deck. It's coming out. EX4, that deck's coming out. You guys will love it. Actually, it might be before your time, but your kids are going to love it. But no, that's it. Regionals, Ultimate Cup for this section of the year has come and gone. We technically have some stuff in May, but that's after BT12 comes out. So for me personally, that's like next section of the year because obviously it's new deck profiles and stuff, and new stuff's coming out. If we do see some stuff from this weekend over the next few days, I'll probably do like a big conjoint video and be like, let's go over like what people have been playing, because people obviously trying to play like against certain decks. I play Beelzy. A couple of people did say like, I'm surprised you didn't see Beelzymon decks during the thing when they're like 6 wins in. It's like because the decks aren't very good against certain matchups, and if all your matchups are like these bad matchups in the first place, you're not doing much. Beelzymon currently into Bloom is really good. If you didn't know, your opponent can poop out like 6 bodies, but most of them can't swing on that one turn. And if they've got nothing to crash into, you'd have to worry, because you then move out, swing, get rid of half their board, and win the game. And they'll look at you very upset. You know, things. But yeah, peace out and goodbye. Tamers, we'll see you guys soon for some more Digimon action, hopefully. And maybe I'll figure out how to get my camera to work properly. Despite the fact it actually looks alright today. Normally it looks very bright. Yeah, see you guys soon. Peace out. Bye.